हमेशा वो फीमेल डॉक्टर प्रेफर करते हैं।
मेल फीमेल क्या होता है? डॉक्टर डॉक्टर होता है।
पेशेंट जैसा नहीं सोचते ना।
पहले आप तो ऐसा सोचे।
Hi, hello. I am Pratiksha Mishra and you're listening to Do I Like It? A Quint production where we review anything and everything under the sun. And in this episode, I'll tell you, do I like Dr. G?
In life, things happen. And even if nothing's happening, that's still something happening, right? So on this show, we talk about things that happen. We get an esteemed panel of highly jobless people to answer the million-dollar question. Do I like it?
The premise of Dr. G is that one lone man has entered the world of gynecology filled with women. Just filled. He's akela hai wo. There's just one guy in an entire class. Fine. Let's believe that to be true. He actually wanted to become an orthopedic doctor, but now he's, landed in gynecology, which in itself, I can't wrap my head around since gynac is one of the most coveted branches in medicine and he just had it handed to him and he's ungrateful. But regardless, how does he survive this, world he has been thrust into? That is what you find out in Dr. G. But before I jump into it, let me tell you that you can check out all our other episodes in this series and all other podcasts by The Quint on our website or wherever you get your podcast fix. The doctor in question is Uday. Dr. Uday, ghar ka naam is Guddu, played by Ayushmann Khurana rather brilliantly actually. Ayushmann is a great actor and that has just, in all his films, he's good and he's good in this as well. There's not much to critique other than like maybe his accent that goes in and out. But I did like that Ayushmann is now playing a character which in the film also is open to criticism. In the sense that he's just being a horrible guy a lot of the time and people can actually tell him that hey, this thing you did, not okay. So I guess even that's a little refreshing to finally see like female characters or women be able to give those preachy monologues in films about women instead of, the male savior doing it. I have some mixed emotions about the film's premise in itself. I heard a lot of people saying, oh, I would never, discriminate. I wouldn't mind going to a male gynac. No one in my family minds going to a male gynac. I guess we need to widen our perspective a little bit because in that kind of sentiment, we're assuming that all women, like puri Bharat ki auratein, all of them have the same level of agency, which is not true. I spent a lot of time in my village and growing up, the men that were around me, if I told them something like, oh, take the women in your family to a male gynac, they would look at me like I had like I had killed somebody. So there is that stigma and it comes from the fact that, they want to control every aspect of a woman's right to her body and autonomy. On the other hand, Dr. G hams the point so many times, they hammer it into your skull that, it's a man doing gynecology, it's a man doing gynecology, can you believe it? Everyone who finds out that Uday is studying gynecology is shocked, like they are bewildered, they're hoodwinked by the prospect of a man studying gynecology, which is so weird because I checked on like this, I didn't have to, but just for like research purposes, if you will, I'm doing finger quotes, I checked like a medical app and a large percentage of gynacs online are men. Dr. G, directed by Anubhuti Kashyap, does do this one good thing where they're like, a bad person isn't always necessarily like a Kabir Singh, That's like, there's a scale, there are levels to all of this. The film is saying that his incompetence does not arise from him being male. It arises from the fact that he doesn't care. Like, usko ghanta farak nahi padta ki kya ho raha hai. He is just studying his orthopedic books like, just like their gospel. And also because his ideas about women and about gynecology as a whole are just so archaic that he can't open up to this clearly wonderful field that is in front of him. The main issue now is that most of the female characters are just there क्योंकि उदय को ऐसा पाठ पढ़ाना है. How will he grow if we do not teach him? It's the very definition of I will fix him, but everyone in the film suffers from it. It's like Uday is having group therapy for free. Like there are legit times when he's committing crimes. It's not ki I reached the operating room 3 minutes late, which he does. 7 minutes late, he does that. But he's committing actual criminal offenses and he just gets away with it because, doesn't serve the plot for the hero to go to jail and half an hour into the film. Who I must appreciate, and I am honestly like I want to say I might be biased, but the bias comes from a very good place. Sheba Chadda and Shefali Shah. Wonderful acting, so good. So if you asked me, do I like the performances? I love them. Rakul Preet Singh plays Fatima, Dr. Fatima, one of Uday's colleagues. And with the role that she is given, I think she does very well. I really want to see Rakul Preet Singh in, I don't know, like a script that gives her more like a meatier role, because that's what I feel like. Rakul Preet Singh redemption is what we need. Like give her a shot. Give her like half a chance, But otherwise, when it comes to Shefali Shah, who is the HOD basically, Dr. Nandini, I wanted to see the film through her viewpoint, because the poor woman is suffering. She is like, how does she deal with Uday and all that is going on? She is constantly mad. And like one would be. Shefali Shah has such an expressive face. And with that, the restraint that she shows in her emotions when she's acting, it just comes together to just form this brilliant character. Then there's Sheba Chadda, my favorite. I'm not even kidding. My favorite comic actor at this point is Sheba Chadda. I could listen to 3 hours of Sheba Chadda explaining what Tinder is. Sheba Chadda dating podcast is what we actually need. At the same time, when she has to shift to a serious performance, she does it brilliantly and almost made me tear up. Let's talk about the film's humor. And there is a lot of it. Like even from the trailer, you'll know that there is attempt at humor being made. Some of it is hilarious, like it lands. A lot of the situational comedy is actually pretty funny. There's this one scene where this character is trying to shut down the speaker so the music stops, because everyone is just standing there afraid, angry. It's a very tense situation, but the music just keeps playing and the laughs, they keep happening. Honestly, if you've watched like Jordan Peele's Us, in that scene where that family is being brutally murdered and the woman says, Ophelia, call the police, and F the police starts playing. I don't know, like it's not the same vibe, but that's what it reminded me of in a very good way. Like the feeling of humor from both these drastically different scenes is the same. And it works great. But then again, there are these dialogues which seem like, the script writer was like, oh, it's been 5 minutes, no jokes from us, just put one in, just put anything in, it's fine, just kuch bhi dal do, has lenge log, but nahi haste log. Who does deserve kudos though is Ishit Narain, the cinematographer, the DOP, who has also worked on films like Shantaram and Kareeb Kareeb Single. His work in this film as well is brilliant. He really captures every scene and every mood so well with the camera that the audience doesn't have to go looking for a story, but at the same time, he's not saying that, oh, look here, look in this corner, oh, there's stuff happening here. He just gives you the frame. The background score by Ketan Sodha is extremely loud. There are times when the dialogues are going on and the music is going on, and I want to listen to the dialogues, but I'm distracted because music is itna loud hai. And that's not a great thing. When there are serious scenes, the score works. When it comes to music from Amit Trivedi, well, master of his craft, the songs are all mediocre to great. But the last song, the song that plays in the credits, it broke me. It broke my spirit. And honestly, I think it kind of undercut the tone of the entire film. Why is Ayushmann Khurana's character surrounded by these women wearing what I can only assume are nurse costumes for Halloween? And it's fine. It's fine. You know what? If you leave before the credits, I think, maybe that's a saving grace. I didn't, but because I like watching the crew's names and everything, but that's on me. Maybe this is a me problem. The one good thing, again, another good thing I would say is that the lessons that Uday is learning from these female characters are all important. They're very well structured, these are all points that should be made. I say a lot. I'm sorry, listener, I really am. There is a conversation around abortion which isn't inherently problematic. There's nothing that made me go like, nah, don't do that, Oh, the knows. I'm so sorry again. I'll try. I'll do better. But the conversation is so rushed कि वो effect नहीं होता. Maybe Dr. G should have been 2 films. The Dr. G sequel is what should have dealt with all of this stuff. Because now it's just a mishmash of 4-5 things happening. Great plots, not fully explored. But there is a good effort, and the premise and the concept in itself might seem a little, like I was saying, it might seem like they're hammering it in and might seem a little unrealistic. But as a concept, it was still decent. It explores a good aspect of, I guess, the medical field. But the execution was it just fell flat. Do I like Dr. G? I do. I desperately wanted to like it. I really, really wanted to like it. But like I said, that song, it was just too much. That was the straw. It broke me. That just got me. After that, I just had to be like, nah, something better. Something better can be done. We need better. So if that's your kind of thing, you'll enjoy Dr. G, but otherwise stream Grey's Anatomy, I guess. Oh, and before I leave, thank you again for listening. Do I Like It is a Quint original podcast hosted by Pratiksha, executive produced by Shefali Shah and Ritu Kapoor, produced and edited by Anjali Palod, written by me, Pratiksha, again, with theme music from BMG Production.
You were listening to the Quint's podcast.